Ah, it's Brennan here. Okay, so I'm working on basically this writing that I've been doing a long time, and it's like a social science unified social theory, right? Uh, and it kind of borrows all kinds of uh, future, past, sort of the whole spectrum of everything. And so I'm constantly writing stuff. This is some stuff that I've been doing. And sometimes I'm writing with the stuff in my hand. Uh, you guys can see it. Catch that? Well, almost looks blurry there. So basically, uh, so I work on sociology quite a bit. Okay, so I have this conviction of this prime case. I should be reading some of this, and and so basically, so I'm working on sociology, and then basically sociology, it gets easily sort of depressing, right? Because it's like society should be functional with the norms sort of all mm, defined. But geography makes that the big question. So in I put some more up here. In the in navigating, starting here, trying to that first sentence right there, basically goes into what it doesn't look like it, but it's constantly evolving, right? Okay, so basically, the vehicle of the future is this idea where you have uh, pollution and chaos, so traffic jams just by themselves, by the way, people react, are a form of pollution. Then you got your noise pollution. So you got your psychological pollution, your noise pollution, your air pollution, and then you're consuming the energy, and it's not really going anywhere. There's a traffic jam, or it's just dysfunction. And so, uh, what I was starting to write down on this paper here, is okay. So if you have a navigation system where vehicles are automatically, know, they're autopilot and they're just going with maximum sort of destination so that you can enjoy yourself. You can have that journey without, trying to win, as they say. Uh, so if you have that navigation system, in some ways it's much quieter and there's less air pollution. So what does that lack of chaos bring? Does that mean that people are going to deliver undesirables on your doorstep? Or are they going to fail to bring the hero, the leader, the sort of the focus, the clarity? Because you could bring in a boatload of undesirables. Maybe they're just economic refugees, and fail to bring in sort of the lost hero, um, an outsider. That's what I was writing here in action. Inside fear in action. Uh, you bringing in the most desirable elements, and yet navigate. When I talk about this one PGEZ, it's a major part of humanity's civility in the environment of all this, of all the the chaos and the energy and the pollution and stuff like that. So the popular compromise would put the quality in inequality or equality. You know, which one is worse, inequality or equality. Without the quality, they're both garbage. Okay, so you have to have quality, and so the popular compromise. I don't know if you ever. Okay, so PG easy. The easy thing to do is to avoid wars and chaos. You know, you get your traffic jams if they're all trying to like win. And some people actually do have boatloads of undesirables, and they get paid to carry them around. But slave traders, or maybe they just work with the mental health. You know, but you know, where are those people going? You know, they're going to find love. Is everyone going to find love? That's global peace. Uh, So that's what the vehicle of the future would do. I mean, it could literally be. I I'm working on this quite a bit because the social sciences sometimes it's very fascinating, and other times it's like quite depressing. You know, it's like start wondering about the gender sort of agenda. And that's for me. That's not normal to put undesirables in the focus. Okay, because that's not where anyone wants to go, to undesirable though. You know, but then again, people do go certain places, and you can improve those places. Um, so okay, so the vehicle of the future, because social science is just that twisted. You're looking at people in limbo and then also, but the tower of power on the other side, you know, one side going down, one side going up. It's this energy, but it's balance. That's the idea. Is the balance. That's what I'm trying to write and trying to find the right place to write. So the tower of power, the vehicle of the future, could actually be paper. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of a little place called Japan. Right? They used to build their houses out of paper, paper walls, paper doors, paper windows, because it worked. There was no sort of psychotic sort of uh, violence or fear that you know maybe it's meat and dogs. I don't know. You know. So you can't think you know of sociology too much without thinking of engineering. Uh, Functional structures, containers that contain the good, as well as navigating all that other stuff, all that that hole in the ground. You know. So yeah, so they could be made out of paper, but then and these same structures, the same frame, could then have you could replace the paper with acrylic. And I don't like plastics because they're getting lower quality from the sulfur oil. You know, that's all we got left is sulfur, higher stuff. So you get this like nasty stuff that should have stayed in China. You know, because it's crude or sulfuric plastics and stuff like that. Or you know, what toxicity. So glass is ideal. So you could have thick, heavy glass in the same frames in the same vehicle, and it would be much heavier, but it would be like a little office, and it'd still be the same frame, the same structure. You just change the glazing. You just you put a piece of paper in there, and you're putting glass in there, right? And I wanted to say this is how I read it. I get card paper, and because I like firm paper, so I can kind of fold it up and write on it, and I just fold it in. I know my trick, but it's like it fits in your pocket. But I'm trying to do this big picture thing where I have, like I don't know if you saw 1492, where Columbus is on the cliffs. He took a vow of silence, and he's got all these posters, and there are all these maps, and they're on and in the wind basically, because they're just hanging there, scrolls, and he's studying all these maps, and that's what I need to do to work on this fantastic thing. It's adventure of discovery, basically. It's scientific and yet also spiritual. finding the right souls, those souls who will bring magic to the land, to pride, and also filters, and the whole unified social theory, PGEZ, and net, um, and that brings in these sort of outsiders who are actually of that national cultural normative identity, on one of those papers there. Um, so let me just put some more of this writing that I've been doing, because some of it horribly entertaining here, but I'm laughing. Right? That's I know what you mean. Um, I don't know. It's a lot of the same, and this is basically the vehicle of the future. Some of the profile working on these the vehicle of the future. This is my left hand, right hand, writing backwards, whatever. It's actually right-handed backwards. I know I can do that. I don't know why. It actually works somehow. So the vehicle of the future, like I said, it could be paper glazing in these frames. So these frames are the most important element, because it's a paradigm here. And just as you could have paper walls, you could have wooden framing that is wrapped in metal. So take an aluminum can, a soda can, a beer can, and that very thin aluminum, not worth very much, but you wrap that around 2x4 or a 1x3, and suddenly that that piece of wood, and also if you you laminate your wood, so you split it in half and cross grains so that it doesn't warp. Right? So with a little piece of metal in the middle there as well, that same super cheap sheet metal. And then you have something that's not gonna rot, not gonna mildew. That's very important. But that's also very cheap, and also it doesn't have a salvage value, so it's better as the unit is more valuable than what's in it. So it doesn't have that sort of destructive destiny, as more intrinsic value. And so then I was working, the roof. Ideally, this is going to be literally a box, but if the roof is totally flat, it's not going to want to drain. Put something on there, a tarp on there, which is kind of nice. But if you did have that, so if you had a flat on one side on each of it, and then there's an arc bow on the top, so that means it's like a giant circle that's very slight, like from 2 inches to 3 inches or something like that. Then you have that all around, because this is a universal component. Then that goes. Then your outside has a slightly more aerodynamic shape, and your bottom is like an amphibious vehicle, ideally, of structure, more realistically. Well, then so that's like, but it's like that. This is like a compromise to me, because if it were all straight, if all like linear, if you will, just parallel, then it would be much more simple, which is how society should function. You can have people coming out of arcs and but if they're like parallel, it's a bit more harmonious, And then the hinges don't have to. So basically, the whole thing goes together and comes apart with pins or a few bolts. And this is the same thing with the surf wedge forms. Fascinating stuff with marine structures. So you're creating a wildlife habitat as well as a recreational structure. It's beautiful to see. I mean, this is just universal slabs, 3 of them connected together. You have a little floating island with a little river. fascinating stuff. And I wanted to say about the guy who did the skydiving thing without a parachute. If you had a futon, okay, a sleeping bag, the kind that folds up 3 ways, right? And you make one that's, you put like a rigid bottom on it so that you can put it on rocks and sleep like in the most unlevel place, right? And you also make it encapsulated, the vinyl covering waterproof, so it's a little boat. And so you're ready to go anywhere. And you put this futon and you're riding that, like in Indiana Jones, um, they ride a raft down, an inflatable raft, and they land actually in the movie. But yeah, but the fruit, that would be amazing because then you could almost maybe catch a little ground effect and have a soft landing. A parachute is basically your extra sheet, you know. Just slows you down enough to like you kind of slide along in that hard bottom coordination. And that's like one of these vehicle of the future designs where you have a trailer that is actually a boat itself, with caster wheels folding up. Everything's like about caster wheels. Now, if you go into a hardware store and you look at caster wheels, you might find a lot of them are you fold them up and like, whoa, what did they make this thing out of? You know, it's like a shiny black rubber. It's like, yeah, you know, it's like made of high sulfuric oil or something. I don't know what they're putting it, but if you look in the hardware store, the little portable structures they have the good stuff. So they, you know, the good stuff is a limited supply, so you have to have purpose for all this stuff. So that's what the unified social theory is all about. And I'm trying to, you know, somehow magically find a place where it's quiet enough and then I can like have a desk. The vehicle of the future would actually do it because you'd have the perpendicular bed extensional thing that hangs out there on the side. So it's only 9 feet by 5 feet, and not 5 feet by maybe 12 feet. But you could have this extension from the 5 feet out. So you have a bed there, and you swing over there and have this desk that folds, 2 desks that fold out. And they go out of the way so you can go to your little kitchen zone there. And, you know, or have the desk just pull right up to you. 5 feet is, you know, from my elbow to my fingers. That's, so, you know, a lot of people could sleep in 5 feet, particularly children are under 5 feet. That's why the canals are 5 feet wide. All this stuff is cosmic dimensions, tradition. And so I'm not sure if I showed you all this stuff. I think I did. Yeah. So that's yeah. And so this unified social theory, this big sort of it's a quasi post-fiction sort of Jules Verne. You know, stuff in technology, but it's not really that. It's more of a convergence of fiction and the future reality. So that, you know, somebody's got to do it, and the vehicle of the future is also like your own personal hospital room. You know, when I was a kid, I used to have this fantasy, like the $6 Million Man type of fantasy, where I had some accident and I was in a hospital, and I was feeling sorry for him, probably sponge baths or something. But if you had a little, your own little hospital bed that had wheels on it, take you out to the road and they push you and you kind of start rolling away. So that's how it worked. You know, because things are too expensive. You know, non-functional, non-focused geographic sort of global history. You know, so I'm trying to do this, and it's just going to be like a miracle if I do it. Hopefully I will, and still got my radio here. Cut it off in 20 minutes, all right?